Alright guys, what we got here is Rimworld. For anybody that hasn't played it, this game is utterly amazing. It's a kind of colony survival builder. It's really interesting how it plays out. I've done a bunch of colonies at this point. I'd say probably 5 or 6, and I've tried to do different things with each one. I was gonna go through and kind of show you guys what I've done so far in this game, and then I figured I'd go ahead and make a new one that we could actually do like a full playthrough on. So to give you guys an idea, this was my first attempt at a colony. I picked a nice. I've really liked the mountainous regions, and you'll notice that almost all the colonies I make have been in mountainous regions, just because I really like being able to dig into the side of mountains, because it makes it harder for people to show up and screw with your stuff. Oh, we totally forgot to fix this guy's wall from some event that happened. God only knows what. So yeah, to give you guys an idea, I kind of originally all of my this building here, like made out of the slate walls that you can see is set up for prisoners. Originally, this was the room that all of my guys started in. Like, this was a pre-existing little building on the map, and I just ended up knocking a hole in one of the walls to put a door. And as you can see, like, so this is where all 4 of my guys, or all 3 of my survivors originally started out at. And then I ended up, I remember the first thing I made was the kitchen and the food storage area, because especially early on, food can be kind of a hassle. You got to make sure you have a steady supply, or you're going to end up being in trouble later. So we ended up doing that first. Then we got some power set up. You can see right here we've got our storage facility. This is where we're keeping all our stuff. You can see we've got a trade beacon so that when people come by we can trade with them. Our global trade unit got built fairly early on this one because if I remember right, I think I was trading food on this first playthrough, because food can actually be pretty good. So we got the storage thing here. We've got our little medical hut here. You see, Bren's got a room here. Wall's got a room here. Wall is actually our artist, so we just went ahead and put like the artist table inside his room, so he didn't have to go anywhere. You can see that there's actually a sentry turret in his room. That's because, as you can see from right here, at one point, periodically, some raiders that show up will have like special traits, and sometimes they'll have equipment that they're using to try to bypass your defenses. So this was where they broke through at one point. You can see I repaired the wall, and we got a sentry. We put up a sentry gun in here just in case they tried it again. We've got a couple of sentry guns here in the middle, kind of watching different angles. We got some more down here. And you can see I put a wall here so that people can't stand outside of the sniper turret range with sniper rifles and just pick away at them. They actually have to move around the wall and come into range to get shot at. And like I said, this was my first attempt. It definitely wasn't the best. We got a couple more rooms. You can see, as soon as I realized that they would sometimes try to come in the back door, you can see any area where like I had a thin wall, I went ahead and put up a couple turrets to try to make sure that I didn't have that same problem I had the first time. You can see we got some rooms here. I ended up knocking out this wall because it was plasteel. I had waited a while to get it because I didn't need it right away, but as soon as I started building my ship, it became necessary, so I went ahead and forgot to rebuild it, unfortunately. You can see I've got all kind of my crafting stuff, with the exception of the art bench, is all kind of here. You can see this is a technique you'll see me using a lot more later. Pretty much you just make long, thin strips to check for minerals, and then if you find it, because a lot of times they're clumped together, as soon as you find one, because like it's the same thing that happened down here. You can see where this was a bunch of steel, probably. There's more steel down here. So you can see, like, I just do long strips until I find something, and then I'll go ahead and expand it from there. Since we got everybody a bunch of rooms, and like you can see, we built walls to kind of force people into, kind of create kill boxes, force people into the areas where we want them. I remember there was supposed to be a turret here too. I think what I ended up doing, as you can see I've got the ship here, I did end up leaving this planet, and these guys are actually ready to leave, which hopefully we'll be able to do on the playthrough that we do later. But yeah, ended up converting this into a prison just in case we needed to take prisoners for some reason. You can see we've got just regular graves for all these guys. There's one plasteel coffin, and that is Khan, who you can. Oh, so this person was originally a like a convict that got brought into our thing. Or, oh wait, no, this has Art Gun. Khan's the one that made it. Okay, that's right. So Art Gun, I changed her name to that because she was originally our artist and she was our best shooter, so she had the sniper rifle. At one point, unfortunately, something horrible befell her, but given the fact that she had been such an instrumental part to this colony, we went ahead and gave her a fancy grave. And you can see he called it the Face Beater because that's what Art was really known for. She killed the crap out of anybody that got in their way. She was pretty good at it. So yeah, as you can see, there's and this was on the easiest difficulty because I was still trying to figure out the game. If I had been on any real difficulty, I feel like this colony would have failed horribly just because anything like any major threat like a really big raid or like the mechanoids would have just really screwed me up here. Plus, you can see my room space, they're all either average sized or like poor. Like I don't really have any, like they're not getting bonuses from your rooms, and we can probably see their moods are probably not great. I mean, I guess it could be worse. And then also, like you can see, this colony I went like a lot of my colonies I generally keep small so that we don't use too many resources, but with this being my first attempt, I ended up every time somebody wanted to join, I went ahead and saved them, so we ended up with kind of just a boatload of people. Cool cargo pods, and that's one of the things I really love about this game is just kind of the random stuff that'll pop up as you're playing. All right, we're gonna go ahead and swap over to. I named this other one. So this first one was Moscow. You see Moscow too because it got saved a second time. It was just, I think I was listening to Rammstein the day that I made it probably. Now this one, I mean there is mountain, but we spawned over here I think, and then just dragged all our stuff over here. You can see I didn't want to do the caves. Oh, and we're dealing with a poison ship on this one. Yeah, one thing I was going to originally, like when I picked the mountainous region, I had originally planned on digging into the mountain here, but then I came down here and I noticed there was a super thin natural path here, and then there was a little area here, and so what I ended up doing was I walled off this. And like unfortunately there was a lot of desert, so we weren't able to do as much gardening as we would liked. You can see our food stores are ridiculously low on this one. We got our research center, we got our comm system. You can see these are just built into some random cave. We don't even have doors or anything on this. We got our power generation. We've got a bunch of gardening stuff kind of spread out through here. You can see I even planted some trees just because there were so few on the map. Super small kitchen and refrigeration area. This one I was trying to do like a really small, like compact but like highly functional type setup. But as you can see, like everybody feels cramped. Like the moods are terrible. Zebra's about to crack right now just because she's whoo not happy at all. Very low expectations is the only thing keeping her from beating her fellow colonists to death. And that was why I ended up quitting this playthrough, was just people kept going crazy on me. But I really did like how I had like multiple kill boxes, and unfortunately this one didn't work out quite as beautifully as I thought it was going to, but overall, I mean, you can see that they have managed to survive at least through a poison ship and a mechanoid. I think this one had a chain gun, which somebody is probably wielding. Yeah, there you go. Our chef has the awful minigun. So yeah, this was just like a really simple, quick attempt I wanted to make without spending too much time. Because I was planning on trying to get these people off-world quick, and then I ended up not having any of the resources I need, and stuff kept like piling on to make things worse. Next, we're gonna show you my pride and joy so far. With this one, I mean, like, ideally the concept of this game is to leave the planet, obviously, but I wanted to see, like, I wanted to pick one of the harder difficulties, and I wanted to see if I could make a colony that is just sustainable and just, like, is really good at keeping itself alive. And that's when I ended up with this thing. And as you can see, I've spent a good amount of time in this area. I did end up building a ship. The only reason I built a ship is because nothing was able to do anything to us, and we were not having any problems, really. You can see our food is a little bit low, and I remember that was a problem I started to have on this one. Because right at the end you can see I built a couple of little bunkers here. There was a poison ship here. There was some kind of other... I think there might have been an artillery team that tried to set up down here. Like, this whole area just got bombarded. You can see we've got another poison ship here that we haven't... I mean, it's been alive for 20 days. It looks like we already dealt with the stuff that was inside of it, I'm going to assume, because there's just a ton of mechanoids out here. And it looks like I probably already broke apart some mechanoids, too. So this might not actually have anything... Well, I mean, it is at full health, so maybe... So, yeah, there could be something awful waiting in that for us. But, the setup here, we built entirely into a mountain for this one, because I really, really just kind of wanted to, I wanted to make just an impenetrable bunker, really. And as you can see, we've got 2 ways in. We did have a team try to dig in through this wall at one point, and we came out here and shot them up before they could. And you can see we've kind of reinforced and I've noticed that if you add a little bit of extra meat to some of the walls, it kind of deters them from trying to do that, or at least it seems to have for me. So you can see we've got just a giant kill box out here. We've got a furnace so that because I mean, you can see we were fighting off so many raids and dealing with so many like problems that like we just ended up with this just massed graveyard that was just becoming too much. And while I do love the fact that anybody that wants to attack us has to walk by this giant field of corpses, it was just beginning to really bum out the colony. So so we went ahead and made a crematorium. You can see we've kind of got power all over the place. We got our geothermal generator. And then, yeah, so we've got turrets set up here. There was one here. It looks like I haven't actually replaced it yet. As you can tell, we just got a metric crapload over here. These are kind of to help protect this cluster here. Nice cluster here, nice cluster here. And the cool thing is, guys, if you don't know, if there is a roof over your head, there is a bonus to not getting shot, like a cover bonus, if you will. So what I did here was I actually built 2 like full rooms with doors so that it would cover it with a roof, and then as soon as the roof popped up, I knocked out most of the walls and threw up sandbags. So what happens is I can have people standing in here sniping out and helping the sentry guns, and they are at much lower risk of getting hurt. Melee units usually don't even make it to the sandbags. Rain guys will try to take shots from the doorway, but they usually take it out pretty quick as well. We got our kitchen. We got our freezer area. As you can see, we got an orbital trade beacon in here because for a while, we were doing great on food, and then we just kind of screwed up. And as you can see, there's just no plant life left. Like, I've really just kind of hit the oh, okay, never mind. We do have some animals down here, so we can go hunting. Food isn't like completely out of the question. It's just a little bit of a trek to go down and get it. We're just gonna set everything for hunt, just for next time. But so yeah, so you come in this front door, and you've kind of got the main entrance hallway. This is where our table is. You can see we got a brewery because at one point our moods were really, really suffering, and I noticed that a couple of my people like to abuse substances. So I was like, well, you know what? Who am I to deprive them of that? They've been working hard. I mean, look at what they've built here. I mean, this is just rather impressive. So we went ahead and gave them their own brewery. You can see we've got a couple of crypto sleep caskets in here. The point for these were for prisoners that were too wounded or teammates that were had a problem. And then we've also got a big ship back here. Like I said, the only reason we built the ship was because we had nothing else to do. And as you can see, we've got two guys that are already in crypto sleep caskets, and I can tell you the reason they are in there is because they are on the verge of death. Davenport was our constructor and miner for the longest time. This guy just did amazing stuff for us. He always kept the sentry guns like up to maximum quality and standard. I mean, look at everything except like this section over here was almost entirely done by Davenport. And he always wore like this awesome like duster coat, like, you know, like he was trying to be like Western, you know. And I really appreciated that about him. So instead of letting him die, we stuffed him in one of those crypto sleep caskets on the hopes that eventually one day we leave and we get to find a doctor to help him out. We've also got our buddy named Weed here. He was our farmer. And as you can see, the crops have definitely been suffering with him gone. Doesn't help that there's a poison ship like slowly rolling toward the compound, but and this was also the first compound I did where I didn't do like a hot or temperate climate. This place has actually generally been cold, so the freezer didn't take nearly as much stuff to keep cold, but it did mean that we had to put a heater in everybody's room so that they could actually sleep comfortably. So yeah, we got our two hurt colonists stuck in the craft, ready to leave world and hopefully get healed somewhere else. As you can see, I did a really like weird, funky ship build here, but I wanted to have the maximum amount of crypto sleep pods possible, and somehow I realized that the ship reactor could barely hang on to the thruster and it would still fly. You can see we've got the worst prison in the world here. And there's blood everywhere, and the reason that there's blood everywhere is so with this organization, constantly when raiders attack, any raider that survives, instead of just straight putting them out of their misery, we give them a second chance. And how we do that is we bring them into this horribly crappy prison barracks. We talk to them a couple of times to see if they're interested in joining us, and then if they are just hell-bent on being wild people, we go ahead and we sell them to the black market slavers. I know it doesn't sound beautiful. I know it doesn't sound glamorous, but you know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And the blood here is because this the prisoner barracks is such a shitty location that every time I've put more than one prisoner in there, they have actually started beating each other to death within a few days. It's actually quite impressive how quickly we're able to break down people's minds with just this simple setup of 5 beds in a room. So you can see we got a couple people here. Now this guy, CryptoSeek Slipknot. I don't know why he was in crypto. Actually, now that I think about it, I think Doc for a while there was having like this extreme mental breakdown, and like literally every chance he got, he would start attacking people with this awesome charge rifle that we gave him. So what we did was we stuffed him in a crypto sleep pod, waited for a black market trader, and then we implanted a joy wire in him. So now he can't actually get upset and like go crazy. He's just. I mean, you can see he's got negatives, but the joy wire gives him 25, and then tons of joy just because he's affected by the joy. I mean, you're getting like 35 points pretty much out of just the joy wire, which is really cool. Khan, I remember. Yep, this guy. So he's got a bad back, which is something that I can completely sympathize with. And on top of that, he ended up losing his leg to the. So you can see there's some scythers here. There was also a giant mechanical centipede at one point, and the centipede actually blasted his leg off with a minigun, which was very unfortunate. But luckily, we were able to get him a quick, simple prosthetic leg. At one point, his bad back and in combination with all these other wounds that he's just kind of living with, he was in such bad shape that he was about to die, so we stuffed him in a crypto sleep casket as well, and got him out as soon as we could get the pain stopper. The pain stopper, obviously, now he just kind of gets to wander around feeling good and comfortable all the time, which is what we were hoping for, because this is the guy that does our construction and our mining now that Davenport was out of commission. Next, we got Faye. She is her ring finger was actually shot off. Like you can see, this is a group of hardened veterans. These people have been here for a while, like a while. If I remember right, Faye is actually our she's our doctor, one of our main doctors. You can see we actually have a really good medical bay here. We've got the beds with the vital monitors and the sterile floor. We also gave him a couple plans to kind of make it not quite as utterly depressing when you're in here, because one thing that you'll notice is anytime somebody's resting up, at least I have not found a way to get positive bonuses out of like people are just never happy when they're stuck up in a hospital bed. And it's unfortunate, but like sometimes you get stuck there. Actually, it looks like they're all crypto sleep. I might have blasted off this just to see. This guy, Peck, he had kind of a weird room. For a while, this was like a storage unit. For a while, he was sharing a room. Oh, actually, it looks like Davenport was one of the last people that got hurt. Or maybe I just switched his room up? You can see the rooms where these people used to have. I don't remember what order I built the bedrooms in. I feel like this was the last room I built, though. So maybe Davenport wasn't our original constructor. I do remember he did a lot for us. I really enjoyed having him around, and he was the one wearing the duster. I do know that. So we got Peck in here. Peck has a joy wire because his small rooming situation was constantly causing him to go crazy. I mean, now he's got a beautiful room, but for a while there, it was just full of rubble and crap, and he was very unhappy. You can see it's got a cement floor just because it was originally a storage unit, and like that doesn't make him happy. But he also, if I remember right, yeah, he's a postophile. So this guy, like, his dream is to go bionic, and for the longest time, like, we gave him the crappiest room. We made him do like building projects, like machining in his room, feet from his bed, and then, like, you gotta imagine, like, there's metal sparks like spraying across his furniture. Like, that can't be fun. So we decided to reward him for having such a crappy condition for so long and not going batshit on us. We started, anytime a black market trader has come by, we've been buying bionic parts for him. And hopefully one day, my kind of dream for this playthrough is the last thing that I really want to accomplish is just make this guy as unhuman as humanly possible. As ironic as that sounds. But it's his dream. It really is his dream. You can see, has a bionic body part, gives him a huge bonus. Then we give him the joy wire, and like there's no bringing this guy down. Like, you could probably kill every other colonist, and this guy would just trug away day after day. I mean, he'll get a happier room, which will hopefully make him even better. But, you know, happy camper. You can see I started building a billiards table out here. I think I ran out of regular cloth, maybe, or wood. I don't know. At one point, it's just like, you can see I got two art tables here. I've got two people that are decent at art, so that was our main way of making money here. Because, I mean, we're holding off on a decently hard difficulty, so we were making plenty, or we were getting plenty of weapons to sell to, like, the weapons traders. But I noticed that, like, we were still kind of not really progressing on money, if that makes sense. So what we did was we went ahead and we got our because, I mean, think about it, we're pretty much just waiting for a tax to come by and just seeing how we can improve our thing. I could probably thicken up these walls a bit. That would probably be the next project. Maybe keep mapping out this cave. One thing that might be cool is to, like, build like a second bunker over here and have them connected through this giant cave system. That way we could, I mean, imagine, we could probably support, I don't know if there's a max number of colonists. I know that I have had multiple playthroughs with a bunch of them, and every time I add more, it just makes this this bar longer. So, I mean, hypothetically, we might be able to just have like a giant, just huge bunker system and have like 14 colonists so that we can man both the areas. But obviously, it's going to cost a lot of metal. We're going to have to do a lot more mining. It's just very, very time-consuming and kind of tedious. But yeah, as you can, and then this was really kind of the pride and joy of this whole thing. Is this thing right here? So as you can see, this is all built into a mountain. So there's just a roof over all of this because it's the top of a mountain. But what we actually did was, with this room, we made this room and then we actually took off the roof, which is an option that you have in Zone, I think. Yeah, no roof area. As you can see, so we have no roof back here because we wanted to have the gardens and the solar panels hidden back here. We've got no roof over these solar panels, and we've got no roof here. Now, might not make a lot of sense at first, but this is a mortar. And this mortar can actually fire anywhere on them. And you know what? Actually, we're going to go ahead and show you guys something cool right now. Do I have any... I feel like I should have some artillery rounds unless I used them all already. And I'm not seeing them. Pretty sure I can make more though. Alright, yeah, I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about real quick here. Oh, now we lost power to everything. Peck, no! I'm pretty sure he's visiting the grave of an enemy, because I don't know that we've actually lost a person on this playthrough. We have 2 people critically, like mortally wounded, but I don't know that we've actually had someone die. I feel like I probably would have made them a fancier grave if that was the case. Oh, is Pekka... Who's our machinist? No, it is him. He's just busy trying to make food right now. So, we're going to pull him off that real quick. We're going to have him make us a couple artillery shells. Then he can go back to cooking later. No. Alright, yeah. By the way, and like this is the advanced. You can either just set them to do certain tasks, or you can set the priority in which they do them. And this is what really helps you become successful in this game, is figuring out how to manage this whole process. How many did you make? 3? Alright, that'll work. So we'll go ahead and let him get back to cooking. Oh. We're going to have Khan work our mortar here for a second. Alright, now check this out. We're going to set a force target, and we're going to shoot at this... You can see it takes time to load the next round. Minimum range is 30, so they can't be too close to you. But because I took the roof off of this, I can actually fire mortars out of my mountain base. Not always the most... The mortar isn't the most accurate. You definitely need significantly more shells than you plan on using. And I'm pretty sure the only reason I'm pretty low on mortars right now is because I was shelling a bunch of mechanoids earlier. But regardless, it's fun. You know what, actually, real quick, we're going to go ahead and see if we did kill the mechanoids in this poison ship. He hasn't managed to hit it yet. He's not our best shot, I don't think. Well, I mean, I say that, but he's... Ooh, oh my god, okay. So yeah... Oh, this is probably gonna be bad because I didn't really expect there to be that many in there. But But you know what? We're going to go ahead and see if we can play this out real quick, just because it'll be kind of fun. Trying to think of where we can keep our people the safest, while also making use of the weapons that they have. Max got our chain gun. Oh, I have a feeling we're going to lose people. I mean, that is a lot of mechanoids. I'm used to like 2, maybe 1. We've got 2 miniguns, a mecha blaster. I mean, the scythers have pretty low health. Oh my god. I have a feeling Khan is not going to make it back. This is about to be bad for him. Anybody with melee weapons is about to get horribly wounded. But one thing we can try to maybe do is we put him with his personal shield kind of out in the open and hope that the did we miss anybody? Faye, did we miss Faye? Nope. Oh yeah, Khan is not doing so hot. Where did he take it? To the neck. Oh my god, and the torso. Luckily he's got a pain stopper, but he is already in kind of a... Oh, okay, the mechanoids are retreating. Happy day. And now we know what we're dealing with, guys. You can see Faye goes immediately to help out Khan, is literally the second he gets into bed. Wow, though, that is a lot of mechanoids. Alright, so that's the military bunker so far. It's been, I mean, obviously it's been successful. It's been growing, I would say. We've had a decent run so far. The only thing we're really worrying about right now is food. We can pretty much handle. I mean, we can handle these mechanoids. I'm not. We can either just stock up on artillery shells and just shell the crap out of them, which is a very viable option, or we can kind of do some hit and run with snipers down here. There's a couple of ways that we can deal with this. We can also try to get buy a cool explosive weapon off the black market. There's some really awesome missile launchers that I haven't had a chance to play around with, but I feel like this is the this would be the time. We did get a merchant. I'm gonna quickly go. Ooh, more bionic parts, but they're so expensive. And so you can buy slaves too, which is kind of artillery shells, and cheap artillery shells. Or no, it's cheap to sell them. Okay. Alright, well that's this one. We're going to move on to the last colony that I have done so far. And yes, it's as bad as it sounds. It is a slaving colony. And this one, it took a minute, and I kind of had to start at a disadvantage. And the reason for that is, for any of you that haven't played this game and tried selling slaves, if you sell slaves, all of your colonists take a giant mood debuff for a significant amount of time, I would say. And the reason is, I mean, hypothetically, they're afraid that they could be next, which makes sense. I mean, if we're willing to sell people, like, who knows who's next, you know? So what I actually had to do, and I'm going to show you, we rolled Psychopath on every single one of our starting heroes. So here we have, she can't do art, and she can't do research, but she has no problem selling people. She has no problem killing raiders that come into the front door. Watching corpses, not an issue. She shoots faster but less accurately, so we went ahead and gave her a shotgun so we could just stick her up at the front and just let her blast away with it. And she's quick. Like, this was a really nice kind of bonus little perk that we got. Duster is one of our main man. He's the one that we gave the rifle to. If I can get a sniper rifle, he's the one that's going to get it. And we are currently looking for a sniper rifle. They're kind of expensive on the market. And we don't have... We've sold some slaves, but we've also had to buy a bunch of stuff. But, I mean, we're getting there. We're getting there slowly. So this guy refuses to use drugs, which is nice. He wants to be he wants to be turned bionic. Or oh wait, no, this is the opposite. Duster does not want bionic body parts. So that's one thing we got to be careful about. We got to kind of, and that's part of why I gave him the rifle. We can't give him bionic parts if he gets hurt without him possibly going crazy. So we got to be really careful about how we deal with him. And you can see that he's already just taken tons of damage from different things that have happened, and I mean just natural stuff as well. Because he is 67, to be fair. Next we got Jen. Ooh. Jen does like using drugs, so we got to be careful about how much alcohol we bring. I do occasionally buy booze for her because she does a good job. She generally puts in a good day's work, but I got to make sure that I don't get too much because she will drink it all and go crazy. She is also the one that she wants to go bionic, right? And she also prefers to do melee, so this is kind of a cool combo. So we gave her the personal shield. I think she had a soft break at one point and threw her weapon on the ground. So we still gotta we gotta get her kitted out again, but someday she's gonna be the bionic woman. And Jeremy, you can see we've kind of kept him away from the others, and there's a reason for that. He joined late. He's got some things going on, but he's also not cool with selling people. So every time we sell people, he goes crazy for a couple days, and he probably actually has that debuff right now. Nope. Not at the moment, but we have seen some soft mental breaks from Jeremy, so we're trying to keep an eye on him and also keep him. Like you can see, I've got this sentry gun right here was actually put here to kill Jeremy if he tries to go ham on our guys. Now, this wall ended up getting extended out, so it doesn't quite seem as well. We're gonna have to probably build another one like right here, but we are definitely keeping a close eye on Jeremy because this guy. He puts in a good day's work, but at the same time, he's not really down with the rest of the colony on what we're doing. As you can see, this is probably the most abundant food supply we have, so I'm currently waiting on a bulk foods trader so I can go ahead and sell all this and get some extra money. And you can see we have plans for some deep strip mining. And hopefully at some point we'll be able to expand our thing. And we also kind of hit the slaver lottery not too long ago. I busted open a wall here to some random ruins that had already been on the map, and we found 4 crypto sleep caskets. And from what I've experienced prior, usually when you open these, it's somebody that's wounded, and you have to nurse them back to health for reputation bonuses. Luckily for us, that is actually 4 people that we don't have to fight to capture, and we can sell. So that's what we're gonna do with them. You know what? I might end up, since this colony is still fairly new and I haven't gotten to do a whole lot with it. I might go ahead and do a playthrough on this one as well, or at least a couple episodes. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. This is Rimworld. I highly recommend it. It is a great game. I do believe I remember reading that it's supposed to go on Steam as soon as they are completely consider it done. It's still kind of an early access thing, but it's already extremely playable. It's extremely fun. As you can see, I've already found multiple types of colonies that you can have fun doing, and it's really fun to experiment with. And I haven't even done like a hard mode, like really bad weather conditions and low resources on the map. You know, like I bet that would be a lot of fun. You'll probably die quick, but this game can kind of be like FTL in that regard, in that sometimes you have a colony that's just not going to make it. Sometimes the cards are just stacked in your favor, especially if you pick the all-random guy, which I think is what we did for this one. And, I mean, luckily, so far, it's played out nice for us. We got those guys. We ended up in the room with them. We also found a Psychic Lance and an Animal Pulsar, so that'll be cool. But yeah, I highly recommend this game. I feel that anybody that thinks that this looks fun and is going to want to play it when it's complete should definitely support these guys now and get them the help they need to get this finished, because like I said, it's just been an unbelievable amount of fun. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and we'll be back soon with some more Rimworld. Thank you.